What's up, guys? So, truth be told, 9 times out of 10, if you see me out and about, I will have a G-Shock on my wrist. And recently, I made an episode explaining essentially why I choose to have something like this DW5610 on my wrist when I go camping. It's because this watch, as affordable and as wearable as it is, I mean, this is like a $100 watch max. It is bomb-proof. It is unbreakable. It's not disposable in that I would just throw it out, but it's not something that I'm going to cry about if I find a way to break it, which I probably won't. It's just something that I can depend on. And when I'm out and about, especially in the wilderness, especially when I'm camping, I want gear that's as tough as the terrain I might encounter. And again, in a recent episode, I did a little tribute to what happens to be my favorite G-Shock of all time, this little DW5610. If you haven't seen that episode, click up here. How long have I been doing YouTube? Apparently not long enough. It's the other corner. Click the other corner. I'll put it there and then you can watch that. But those same qualities that this G-Shock has, you know, affordability, durability, reliability, these are things that I want across the board when it comes to other items I carry on my person and in my rucksack. I don't just want my watch to be the only durable, reliable piece of equipment I have. I mean, things as fundamental as fire starters, like these are things that we rely on, and it makes sense. I mean, outdoor gurus pretty much always recommend having 3 ways to start fires. Redundancy is key, right? Matches, disposable Bic lighters, ferro rods. I think all of these things are great, and I have a bunch of those things in my gear because, again, you shouldn't just rely on one. But there's gotta be a way to find something in that category that's as durable, as reliable, and as cool as a G-Shock, and I think I got it. Today I'm gonna share with you the Leiz Explorer waterproof lighters. These are really, really cool, and again, I think if G-Shock made a lighter, this would be it. It is 12:52 p.m. Let's get down to business. So I've mentioned numerous times on this channel that one of my favorite parts about G-Shocks is that they are so dang affordable. And I think that that can be true with other pieces of equipment. Just because something is reliable and durable doesn't mean you have to break the bank to get it. And this is where these Leiz lighters come into play. Okay, so right now on Amazon, a 2-pack is 14 bucks and some change, okay? Now, you're going to need a butane refill for one of them. I'm gonna explain why you won't for the other. And I was able to find one at REI for like 3 bucks. So in all, okay, you are about, I don't know, just under $20 in for this equipment. And, well, I just dropped one, so let's see how durable it is. Still works. So actually, I kind of just gave it away. This one, you won't need a butane refill for because this is a USB-C arc lighter, okay? So all you need is the provided cable and a way to charge this thing, and you get a full charge in about 1.5 hours, and then you get like 300 uses out of it. So you pretty much can set it and forget it with this one. You just charge it up, throw it in your pack, and you're good to go. Now this one does not have butane provided, but again, for like 3 bucks, you can get a refill, and now you're cooking with gas. Now again, for $14.38, I believe you are getting both of these, the butane and the arc lighter. They are both IP56 rated, so you are getting a decent amount of water resistance. If you drop this in some water or it starts raining, you are good to go as long as these caps are down. Now the butane one does have a little valve where you can adjust the flame length. I believe at maximum it's like 1.8 inches of flame, which, I mean, that's actually huge. 1.8 inch, that's enormous. How can she even use that? And these are made of silicone, ABS, and zinc alloy, so you can drop them on the ground like I just did, or you can bounce them around in your rucksack and they're going to be just fine. In fact, even looking at them with the kind of grooves and the almost resin feel, it reminds me a whole heck of a lot of a G-Shock. So why am I so excited about these things? Well, because with a butane torch like this and an arc lighter, it's pretty much wind resistant. I don't want to say wind proof, but I've been in certain areas, like the area I was just in, where wind is a huge issue. So using a match or using one of those Bic lighters, it's kind of out of the question. Even with those stormproof matches, getting them started and getting them sparked up can be a big issue in wind. So one of the things I rely on pretty much every time I go camping is my Coleman stove. I'll be talking about that on this channel later if you guys are interested, but essentially uses those little propane canisters and you need to spark them up. So using a match or using one of those cheap little lighters, it can work if the conditions are just fine, but if it's windy, good luck. I've been in situations where I just had to rely on cold food, which is fine, but I couldn't cook any of the other food that we brought because we just couldn't get the thing started. So having something like this where it's literally a strong butane freaking like jet engine shooting into the burner, that's really awesome. And then even having an arc lighter like this, the wind really does not affect this. So using this on some kindling or using it with those little fire starter bricks sparks right up very, very fast. And I think the best part for me is that, again, both of these with the provided USB cable and with a, butane refill, it's under $20, and this is something that I will probably utilize for a very long time. So I'm gonna be leaving a link to this 2-pack in the description, and when you click on that and you shop there, you do help the channel out a bunch, so I do appreciate it. So I hope you enjoyed this first kind of integrated EDC review on this channel. I'm gonna be doing this more. I even thought of a kind of clever segment title. I think we're going to be calling this Tick and Tactical because we're going to be talking about some other things, maybe even some stuff that we can't really talk about here on YouTube. I'm going to be putting on the members side, things that I use for personal safety, especially when I'm out camping. But if you're interested in this stuff, kind of felt like a natural progression to talk about EDC items because, again, well, I don't just want to rely on my watch, I also want other equipment that is good to go and just works. Guys, as we drift into this little montage of my girl building the campsite, by the way, pro tip, if you want someone to build the campsite for you, just be like, hey, I want to film something, and then all you need to do is just set up the camera and have them do all the work. Anyway, as she sets up the campsite, I do want to bring up why I'm talking about EDC items now. So as you all know, watches have been like the main passion in my life for pretty much as long as I can remember, but recently I've been through some pretty challenging times. It hasn't been the easiest few months for me. As you guys know, I did sustain a pretty significant leg injury and the recovery has not been great. I essentially now have a degenerative nerve issue which shoots pain from the tips of my toe all the way up to the back of my neck. And I never know when it's going to happen. I never know when it's going to be worse than normal. I never know when it's going to subside. And it's just been kind of a constant, worsening progression, if I'm honest. And honestly, for a while it made me pretty bitter. It made me pretty upset and like resentful that I had this happen to me. It's kind of like, why me? I'm 35. I walk with a cane. I can't go upstairs easily. It's easy to get in the mindset of, becoming jaded and kind of cynical and nihilistic. What's the point anymore? You know what I mean? This happened to me. I can't do anything about it. So, what's the point of continuing anything? But I'm choosing to believe now that within adversity, there's opportunity. So this has kind of forced me to reframe everything down to the shoes I wear, to the pants I wear, to how I walk, even down to the watches I wear. I walk with a cane, I move differently than I used to, so it's really become uncommon that I'm going to be wearing my vintage watches. The slacks I used to wear, that hurts my leg. It sounds very strange, but the pants I wear is like very, very predicated on how my leg feels that day. And I mean, an obvious change is the shoes I wear. I can only wear certain kinds of footwear, and this is stuff that I'm very interested in, that I've been doing research in, and that I've been kind of tinkering with throughout this process. But to put it simply, this whole injury and recovery process has forced me to pay attention to things not only that I have on my wrist, but the things that I have in my pockets, the tools I carry with me at all times, the things that I need to have on me as I progress through my daily life and throughout the activities that I choose to do. So when I'm sharing these EDC items for you, it's not me just talking about another piece of gear. It's also kind of finding meaning again in my life and rediscovering ways that I can help myself do the things that I enjoyed doing before the injury. So believe it or not, the boots I have on my feet, the things I have in my pockets, the things I carry in my backpack have all become very, very important. And I've been really trying to figure out what I need on me and what I don't, what I can carry and what I can't. So don't worry, along with the very regular watch talk that we're going to be having on this channel, I'm going to be sharing some insights on everyday essentials. Gear that I have on my person, that I carry in my backpack, that I have in my truck, from pocket tools to practical footwear to pocket knives, even some firearm content over on the membership side, because YouTube doesn't really like that. I'm going to be sharing with you things that are making my life easier, so hopefully if you find interest in that too, it might be able to make your life easier as well. So I thank you for all the support. We just broke past 214,000 subscribers here, and although my life has somewhat drastically changed, it doesn't have to stop here. So I hope you enjoy this progression and this expansion a little bit on this channel, and yeah, join in the conversation. And if you could join the members side, that'd be awesome. We're going to be talking about stuff that we can't really talk about here. Yeah, guys, I love you. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay blessed. I'm Jory Goodman, the time teller, and always remember, I didn't invent time. I just tell it.